Should be back. There you go. We're back.
We had a few technical difficulties there, but we were able to get the broadcast back up and running. Gordon ended up striking out, and now with one away, Marshall Wynn has a 1-0 count.
Sorry about that, folks. Trying to figure out this. Our live stream is being run on our buddy Eric Moon's cell phone right now, so obviously you need a really decent strength to stay with it. But we're back and running here, and hopefully we can finish the game on a good signal.
As the second pitch caught the strike zone, count now 1-1 to Marshall Wynn. 1-1 pitch is caught on right back to the pitcher. He makes a leak. He tried to get him at third, and he got him.
Smart play there. I mean, definitely want the force out at third to make sure that the Flames don't score any more runs as Marshall Wynn's going to be safe at first base, but really nice play there by the pitcher.
Questionable decision-making there from Jared Grosguth. Probably didn't think that Zavada was going to be able to leap up and catch that, but he did, and Grosguth got gunned out at third.
Gunned down at third, like you said.
And now with 2 away and a runner on first, Nick Garcia is back up to bat. Wynn's taking his steps on first. First pitch misses outside, and the count is 1-0. Now 1-0 count, 2 away. What do you think Nick Garcia's approach to this at-bat is?
I think right now with 2 outs, you definitely have to be a little bit aggressive, but wait for the pitch as he's only seen 1 ball so far.
As the second pitch is cut on and missed. And the count is now 1-1. Certainly the goal has got to be to keep the inning alive here.
Yeah, I think anything right now is just get a blooper, get a single in there, and try to get something going, just because at this point we need something better to keep going on for this team.
Garcia 1 for 2 so far in this game. Grounded out to first back in the first inning, but also got that single back in the fourth. Excuse me, that ground out was in the second inning, and that pitch misses for a ball. The count's now 2-1.
So with a 2-1 count, let's see if he can keep it going here for the Flames. They really just, again, like Brendan mentioned, just keep the inning going.
The 2-1 from Zavada misses high and outside, and the count's now 3-1. And if you're Zavada, you definitely don't want to throw a ball here.
Definitely not, and you have to focus as hard as you can. And Garcia, I definitely wouldn't swing because you have one more pitch to play with.
Well, it obviously depends on the pitch. If it's right down the middle, you won't want to give it a hack. And the 3-1 misses high and outside, and Garcia will trot over to first, and Wynn will advance to second. And now with 2 away, runners on first and second, that'll bring up Mike Netzel.
Yeah, I was just relying on, based on the last couple of pitches, I figured he was probably going to throw another ball there anyways. But again, another walk here, and this inning just kind of got to get out of it before any more damage happens. As Mike Netzel, he's only singled the first time he was up the bat. Nothing good going on the second time he was up, so see if he can drive in a run with a runner in scoring position.
The first pitch to Netzel, right down the middle, taken for a strike, and the count now 0-1. We've seen a lot of aggression on first pitch here, but it seems like Netzel let that one just sail right into the strike zone.
Definitely. I think he could have took a crack at that and maybe got a blooper out of it.
Zavada in the stretch. Looks back to second. The 0-1 pitch. Cut on and foul back behind home plate. And the count's now 0-2, and Netzel is going to try to keep the at-bat alive here.
Got to keep it going here. Obviously, in the 0-2 count, going to swing at anything that's close, but for Zavada, I mean, he's done his job. If he can get out of the situation, strand 2 more Flames on base, it's definitely how he wants to end this inning.
That's for sure. And now, Wynn leads off second. Garcia leads off first. The 0-2. Caught and missed on a breaking ball, but it looks like it was foul tipped.
Got to stay alive for Mike Netzel, and he's able to do that there, fighting off a pitch. And, you know, you're going to do the 0-2 count once again, but you're going to keep this at-bat going. Again, a single could potentially score Marshall Wynn from second base, so you never know.
You never know what can happen, and that's for sure. Runner in scoring position, another runner behind him. The 0-2. High and inside as a ballsy attempt to steal third, and then again a attempt to steal second, a successful double steal for the Flames as Wynn moves to third and Garcia moves right up to second on the throw.
at this point in the game, I mean, for the Flames, they have that one lead, the one-run cushion, so they definitely are able to take some chances, and they take a chance there, and it's going to pay off if they can get them to score.
You like this aggressive approach?
I definitely do from coaches in the first game.
Wynn showed steal at home, but he faked it, and that pitch misses low for a ball, and the count's now 2-2.
Really nice job there by Mike Netzel to be able to lay off, and who knows, maybe he can battle himself back into it and maybe potentially get walked here if he can.
What was an 0-2 count with runners on first and second has turned into a second and third on a 2-2 count, and he gets plugged in the back.
Jeez.
Netzel wore that one right up close to the head, probably right about the number. And now the bases are loaded for the top of the order, and Mike Ruggiero is coming up to bat.
The shortstop,
and
number 2, Mike.
For Mike Netzel to wear that pitch, really nice job there. Obviously, he's going to feel that one tomorrow. And with Mike Ruggiero coming up, the shortstop, we saw him with the first pitch of the game take it for a single. Let's see if he can do the situation here. All he needs to do is get a single, and it's definitely going to score at least one run.
Time is called as Nurse goes to visit Zavada on the mound. Now, what do you think was going through Zavada's head there? Do you think he just lost his cool for a second, or do you think he was just thrown off his game by that double steal?
I think the double steal definitely is going to be in his head, and I think it was. And I think Zavada is a player that has been a little bit rocky, as we saw him try to pick off Grosskreutz to start this inning, and then obviously he wasn't able to get the force out at third base, and now he's in a situation where the Flames are in scoring position. He has to be very careful, and he gets a little bit out of control there, hits one of the players, so we'll have to see if he can regain any confidence here.
And if you're the Flames, you definitely don't want to keep up the trend of leaving runners on base.
Yes, you definitely don't.
The first pitch misses outside, and the count's 1-0 early.
Now, Brandon, obviously, Ruggiero is in a leadoff situation most of the time, but here he finds himself having to be a lot more patient. You think he'll still be patient throughout this at-bat?
I think he has to be patient because if he gets walked, that brings in a run. So
right.
You don't necessarily need to be aggressive here. The 1-0 pitch. That misses high, and the count's now 2-0. And if you're Zavada, you need to throw strikes right now.
Yes, you do. You need to throw strikes, anything that can at least get your confidence going again. You know, the catcher just goes out there to have a word with him, but still unable to shake him of whatever's in his head right now.
Zavada from the stretch, the 2-0. Just catches the strike zone. Umpire took a little time on that one. The count's now 2-1.
Well, you mentioned it, Brandon. He had to battle back with a strike. He's able to do it there. Maybe that will be enough to get him over this hump, whatever kind of lapse he's in, but we'll have to see.
And everyone knows that one pitch, one at-bat, one swing can cause a lot of things to change.
I sure can.
Runners lead off first, second, and third, and time is called by Ruggiero at home plate. So you got Wynn taking a lead off of third, Garcia on second, and Netzel on first. You know, it was interesting. I had a situation like this back in my high school a few weeks ago, and the pitcher picked off the guy at first.
Wow.
The 2-1 is caught on and fouled down the right field line, well out of the stadium.
Oh, man.
And the count's now even at 2-2, and Zavada has worked his way back into this at-bat.
He really has, and if Ruggiero can straighten that out, maybe get one down the right base line, he'd be able to, maybe get a double out of it and score multiple runs for the Flames instead of just the one. But right now, I think his focus needs to be just getting a single here to score one more run.
But despite that, now it's 2-2, and Ruggiero's got his back against the wall. The 2-2. Misses outside and tries to corral it, but can't. And the count's now full at 3-2 with the bases loaded. Now, this is the epitome of all stressful situations for a baseball player on both sides.
Yes, it is. You definitely don't want to make any mistakes. Isaac Porter checking into the game as a catcher. I didn't realize. So he's out there having a word with his pitcher right now. Made a decent save there, because if that ball kept rolling, that definitely would have scored at least one, maybe two Flames. So he was able to get a glove on it and then bat it down to stop the bleeding. So here we are, full count, 2 outs. This is probably the most crucial point in any baseball game. Bases loaded. Got to make a play here if you're Ruggiero.
3-2, 2 outs, bases loaded. Zavada, the 3-2, everyone goes, and it's outside ball 4. And a run comes in on the walk, and the Flames now double their lead to 2-0.
Really nice job there by the Flames. So Marshall Wynn's going to come around to score as he led off the inning with the single. And now the Flames finally have that 2-0 lead, and it's a little bit more cushion to play with. And then they still have bases loaded, Brandon.
You know what's the crazy part about this inning? Not a single hit.
Oof.
There was a fielder's choice, but no hits. First pitch to Hart is up and in. Counts 1-0.
And again, Hart is a player that is yet to get going this evening, I should say, and this is a perfect situation for him to get going.
That's for sure. Zavada gets ready in the stretch. Everyone takes their leads. The 1-0. Pitch misses high. Count now 2-0. Zavada getting into a hole here again.
Yes, he is. And I don't know how long you keep going out there as a coach, and maybe you end up pulling him. Obviously, you don't want to use too many pitchers, but we'll have to see what his pitch count is after this pitch because he's really starting to lose it.
The 2-0 is drilled between the third baseman and the shortstop, and that'll be a base hit. 1 run scores, and held up at third is Netzel, and that'll be a single and another run for the Flames as they boost their lead to 3.
Really nice job there by the Flames. Again, we were talking about Brian Hart, waiting for him to get going, and how about get going with one of those where you're able to at least score 1 and keep this inning going, a 2-out rally, and like I mentioned, Brandon, Eric Moon just showing me the pitch count, 35 right now, so his day's got to be just about done, if not, the rest of the inning, but I don't think he's definitely going to pull him now with the timeout being called.
That's true. There is a good man in the bullpen, and it looks like the head coach, Mike Martinez, is coming out to pull Zavada off the mound. Not a great inning.
Definitely not. I'm going to kick it to Eric Moon to see what he has to say during this timeout, especially with a pitching change here.
Thanks for joining the booth, Eric. Now, you've seen a lot of problems here so far. What are you noticing from Zavada in this inning?
He did not get comfortable on the mound one bit. He got 2 outs early on. He walked Scoot and then got Gordon to strike out looking with a good pitch. Fielder's choice, 2 outs right there. But then it might be a little bit of the humidity out there right now, even with the temperatures in the upper 60s, lower 70s, just a little humidity. I know we're feeling it a little more in this.
Oh, we're feeling it more in the booth. It's
right now, but
here.
You gotta feel it out there too. He lost his control after that fielder's choice. Walked a man, hit a man, walked a man. That walked in a run right there, and then the base hit from Hart. That's a 2-0 fastball right down the middle. That's a cookie for Hart.
I think I know the answer to this, but I want your opinion. How much does Logan Zavada's performance really prove that the game is all mental?
It's, when you lose your confidence on the mound, you just can't. You got to find a way to throw strikes. Zavada couldn't tonight. After a couple runners got on base, Grosskuk was a speedier man, but he has been very aggressive on the base pass. He was the guy that really got to Zavada's head out of anybody, because on that double steal, the pitch after the double steal, it was the pitch that Netzel was hit on. He was aggressive on third base. He was looking to steal home, perhaps, or just to distract Zavada, and it clearly worked.
Now, as Justin Hurley begins to warm up for the Saltcats, let's take a little note on our Flames who are not here with us. Let's look at some score updates from the NCAA College World Series. We have 2 players on the Flames on the Columbia Lions, but unfortunately they fell to Florida 13-5 earlier today.
Currently a 3-1 lead in the third inning. They were doing well at one point, but when you're playing the top seed in the whole tournament, in the whole country, the Florida Gators, you just got to keep playing, and they couldn't quite hold on, but it was a great effort despite the 8-run loss.
You can't run out the clock. There are a full 9 innings to play, and plenty of players on Canisius College as well, but they are currently losing to Minnesota 5-1 in the top of the third inning. And going over for the last team being represented, Kent State, we have a few players. One is currently with us. Others are still not with us yet, but currently losing 10-5 in the bottom of the 5th to Louisville as Justin Hurley is getting ready to face Mike Stefan.
Not to be selfish or anything here, Brandon, but I'm glad that they are losing because it's quicker for them to get here for the Flames, and we are able to watch them play as well.
It's very selfish. First pitch to Stefan is a ball. An early 1-0 count. Hurley from the stretch. The 1-0 is grounded between first and second. A diving stop, but he can't make it. Run comes in. Here's the throw, and another run comes in. A 2-run single for Mike Stefan. That brings home Mike Netzel and Ruggiero. And just like that, we are up 5-0.
What at bat. How about the 2-out rally? Stefan's getting something to get by and obviously gets a couple extra bases out of it. And now with Trace Peterson coming up, we're still waiting for him to get going, but he's another guy that could definitely get some more runs here for the Flames.
Probably the biggest offensive threat on this roster. Only gone out once, has a single and a walk to his name today. The first pitch misses down low. Counts now 1-0. Got to run on first and second, rather run on first and third. And with that situation with 2 outs, you can pull a little trickery here if you're the Flames.
Yes, you can.
As they check Stefan back at first, but they can't get him. Certainly Hurley's trying to keep up Zavada's habits from when he was on the mound. Now going to Hurley, hey, just finished his freshman season at Nichols College. What do you have on him?
Well, he has a 2.14 whip, and I mentioned as the pitch goes by it's going to be a ball, but Justin Hurley has a 2.14 whip. The whip should be around the 1.0 or below that, so it's a little bit high. He has 23 strikeouts. He walked 16 batters. He gave up 4 home runs. And again, Trace Peterson up the bat here. Potential home run threat. Never know.
The 2-0. Misses low and away, and Porter has to lunge out quite a ways to keep that from rolling back that eternal backstop.
And I give these catchers credits because the Syracuse Saltcats catchers, that is, they've made a lot of plays that have saved a couple of runs from scoring for the Flames. This could be a completely different ball game if the catchers weren't able to make some plays out of their crouch position.
The 3-0, he's going to take it no matter what, and that'll be a strike. Counts now 3-1. Now 3-1 count, a lot of things that Trace Peterson can do here. What do you think his approach is?
I mean, he's still yet to get going. I think you can be aggressive up 5-0. I think if it's a meatball or anything like that, he's going to take a crack at it.
As the pitch misses inside ball 4, and now the bases are loaded once again, and the Flames has bouted around the order. And that'll send up Jared Grosguth for the second time this inning.
And, you know, this is a rivalry. I know we didn't mention this in the pregame, but between the Syracuse Saltcats and the Onondaga Flames, we obviously share this park as our home field. So getting a win against this team for us, that is, it's going to be a very good feeling to start this campaign because a lot of question marks coming into the season, but we're seeing them get ironed out here throughout this ballgame.
As the first pitch to Grosguth misses low. The count's now 1-0. A very successful inning so far for the Flames. 4 runs driven in. And broadcasters here in the booth have had to cross out an entire row on the score sheet. As the second pitch misses low and away, and the count's now 2-0.
And we're seeing another pitcher, Hurley, losing his composure just a little bit out there after giving up the walk to Trace Peterson for his first batter he faced, and now against Grosguth, he's down with a 2-0 count here, and he had a 6.48 ERA in college. He had a 3-2 win-loss record at Nichols College this year as a freshman, so a lot of time to keep growing, but
the 2-0 pitch misses inside, and back into a corner again is the Saltcats pitcher Hurley, as it's now 3-0 with the bases loaded.
And this is a learning experience. I mean, he's a freshman. He pitched 33 innings this season, but this summer program is to get better, and you're going to have to go through these situations.
As that pitch is drilled into left center field, but Lawler will roll over to it and make the final catch for the final out. An inning that feels like it lasted forever. 4 runs on too many hits to bother counting for the Flames. And at the end of 5.5, the Flames lead 5-0, and we'll bring Eric Moon in for some analysis on that very long inning. Just, wow. A lot happened. What are your thoughts?
Hey, they finally took advantage of their opportunities, and, you know, it more so than in the first 5 innings, those opportunities were gift-wrapped for them. I mean, both pitchers on the mound struggled. Zavada and, his name escapes me. I lost it already. Justin Hurley. Yes. They were both struggling a bit on the mound. You know, walked a few batters, I believe 4 or 5 batters. In that inning, the Braves drove in 3 of their 4 runs on a pair of singles. You know, they got to take advantage of their opportunities. They finally did that, and now they got a big lead to preserve.
Now the crazy part of that 4-run inning. Guess how many hits?
Just the 2.
Just the 2. Only 2 singles. The rest were all walks and fielder choices. Certainly not an inning you want to see for the Saltcats, but if you're a Flames fan, you were definitely happy with what you just saw.
Oh yeah, very happy. Your team just got a big lead. You should definitely be happy. And now you have 4 innings to preserve it, but of course, baseball, you know, anything can happen.
And now there's going to be
Grand Slam can get the Saltcats within 1 run.
Anything can happen. It ain't over till it's over. And like I said earlier, you can't run out the clock in baseball. You got to play all 9 innings and get all 27 outs. What is the approach here?
The approach is just, on the mound, keep throwing strikes, keep playing great defense, especially the middle infielders tonight. I love what I've seen from Ruggiero and Hart turning double plays. Remember that play from Hart, the diving grab to throw it down to first base. It was in the first or second inning. That was a great play. We've seen a lot of that tonight. The great plays off the mound from Gabe Golub. Just keep playing good, consistent baseball. There's a reason the Saltcats haven't gotten on the scoreboard yet. They're 5 innings.
And now, as we're waiting to see whether there's a pitching change here for the Flames, what do you think their approach is this inning?
Like I said, more of the same. Keep throwing strikes, keep playing good defense, and then when you get a chance at the plate, just take your at-bats, be patient with your pitches, try to add to the lead, perhaps. Just the big thing now, get the win.
One more inning until the drawing for 50-50 raffle. One more inning.
I'm going to go with him.
To go by.
Now, there is a pitching change for the Flames. We cannot confirm who it is because there are a few players whose numbers weren't posted, but we believe it is Jeremy Taylor, a sophomore out of Cal Poly Panama. Now, what do we know on him?
Well, we don't know a whole lot. He got a little action with Cal Poly Pomona this year. His ERA is, really high, but that's only from 5 2/3 innings, so you take that with a grain of salt. He struck out 5 guys. His average against was around 500, but again, he's going to get a lot more pitching, a lot more pitching reps with the Flames this summer.
That's for sure.
With Cal Poly Pomona this past season.
Eric, thank you so much for giving the commentary between that very long middle inning process, and now Morgan joins me back again. Interesting note here that he mentioned there's certainly a lot of work to be done with Taylor, if that is who is on the mound. We can't confirm that for some reason, but certainly a lot of people expect summer college leagues to be about showcasing, but for some it is really about development.
It's really about development, like you mentioned, and I think this league, especially with our team, because we have a lot of freshmen, guys that just finished their freshman year and just finished their sophomore year, they're very raw. They have a lot of growth to occur, and I think it's a perfect situation for them to grow out here on the field in front of us.
First pitch to Ferenda is a ball. And just as we mentioned earlier, there is a rotation going on. So after this half inning, I will hand the play-by-play over to our colleague Eric Moon as that pitch goes in for a ball that counts now 2-0. And Morgan will take a quick break, and I will be joining in on the color commentary.
I mean, I'm just guessing because it's Jeremy Taylor because of the other guys on the roster that didn't have numbers are in the College World Series right now. So besides, it also could be Chris Burnett, but based on his stature, I'm going with Jeremy Taylor right now because he looks like he's a bit taller. But it also could be Chris Burnett, and if it is, Chris Burnett attended the same college as Jeremy Taylor, so it could be either one of those guys.
As the fourth pitch, the at-bat misses, and the count's now 3-1. And certainly with Burnett and Taylor, you probably won't get much of a difference. They're
right.
If you're up close with them, 6'5" and 6'1" is quite a difference, but
from here,
we're well over 50 feet away. We can't really tell.
Definitely, and again, this is if it is Burnett, here's the pitch.
And that misses ball 4.
But if it is,
and Ferenda trots over to first base.
If it is Burnett, again, he's another guy that's very raw. He only pitched 2 innings this year for Cal Poly. So, like Eric mentioned, both these guys are very raw prospects. They haven't had a lot of burn under their belt, but he has an ERA of 9. But again, that's a situation where he's only pitched 2 innings. So for him, I mean, he's just got to keep growing as a player, and we're going to see him grow up right in front of us.
And now pinch hitting for the Saltcats, you have Chris Coates, a local guy out of St. Bonaventure University. What do you got on him, Morgan?
Chris Coates, I mean, he looks like he's a decent situation here. What's the pitch go in?
Pitch misses high.
They didn't have a lot on him. He didn't play at all this year. He's a redshirt sophomore. He's 5'10", 175. But in high school, he attended West Hill High School. He's a local product, like Brandon alluded to earlier, and he batted a .388 his senior year of high school. So not too shabby, if you ask me. He attends St. Bonaventure. Obviously, he has
second pitch there, a ball.
Obviously, he has some skills. Excuse me, but he has some skills. So just unable to showcase it in college thus far.
Ferenda takes his lead off first with the 2-0 count. Taylor deals. Cut on and foul behind home plate.
Do you think the Syracuse Saltcats, that is, Brandon, do you think they might steal here with no outs, trying to get someone in scoring position?
They might have to take a risk. They're down by 5 runs pretty late in the game, and they might just have to take a couple of chances here and there to try to get back in this one.
Definitely.
Ferenda taking quite a lead off first. The 2-1 to Coates is chopped down the third base line, and that'll be fielded by Stefan, and that will retire the batter. For out number 1, takes a tumble there. Coates does after trying to pass first base, but he'll make his way back to the dugout without much issue.
So actually, pitching for the Onondaga Flames, just got some notes from our neighbors in the Saltcats press box. It's Connor Morrisrow, and he attends the University of Albany. He has an ERA of 6.14. He only pitched 7.1 innings. He's a redshirt freshman, so just finished his redshirt freshman campaign, and that makes sense. He must have switched numbers. Last night they're giving out jerseys. Some guys were uncomfortable with the size, so maybe he just switched numbers because he's listed as 55 in our book, but he's wearing 35 out there too.
You know, that was my first instinct. Like, Eric, you don't have a microphone, but I do remember. You told me, I see 35 warming up in the bullpen. I don't know who that is. I said, are you sure it's not 55? But anyways, runner on second here with 1 away, and that'll bring up Drew Patterson.
Again, we saw Patterson have a really good at-bat the first time with ripping the triple and Netzel diving there in right field. If he can do that here, it could score a run.
First pitch cut on and missed. A high and inside fastball, but Patterson gave chase.
Morrisrow stands at 6'4", 185 from Huntington, New York.
Checks back to second, the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball, it doesn't quite catch the zone, and the count's now 2-0. Excuse me, the count's now 1-1. Quite the lead off first quite the lead off of second for Ferenda. Hart goes in to check on him as the 1-1 pitch is dropped, but he goes for third, and it goes into the outfield, but thankfully Ruggiero is there to keep it from getting too far out and keeps Ferenda from coming in to score on what was a ballsy steal attempt.
Definitely, and an overthrow there by Trace Peterson, but Brandon, this is something that's been a reoccurring theme throughout this game, is having your teammates back, and we see that again there as the shortstop able to back up the third baseman, and a perfect situation there for the Onondaga Flames. This team is really starting to get some chemistry.
Team's only had 1 practice so far, but the chemistry and the camaraderie is developing so well.
Yes, it is.
Runner on third now with 1 away. The 2-1. Misses high and inside. Patterson has to do a dance to get out of the way of that one. The count's now 3-1.
I think it's the coolest thing about this summer situation for us, that we have players from all different kinds of colleges, but we have a couple guys from the University of Albany, we have a couple guys from different colleges, so they know like 1 or 2 guys, and then they're able to make friends with these other guys.
The 3-1 pitch misses ball 4, and Peterson has a tough time finding it, but just went off the umpire's foot and was right under his feet.
Yeah, but like I was saying, I mean, these guys, they are able to, I don't know, you have 1 or 2 friends that kind of makes you feel comfortable being here, especially being so far away from home, because a lot of these guys are from California, and if you're a freshman in college, if you live an hour and a half away from home, per se, and now you're living across the country for the summer, being alone and being away from home is definitely a scary feeling, but then being able to have a group of guys together like the Onondaga Flames we're seeing so far, it looks like they're together and they're at least sharing some chemistry on the field.
That's for sure, as the timeout is called, as head coach comes out to give a little mound check there to Morrisrow.
Our head coach.
Infield runs back to their positions as coming up to bat now is Taylor Fajardo, a big guy. Seeming with a lot of pop, but struck out twice so far today.
Yes, he has, and he's been swinging for the fence every single time he's been up the bat. Let's see if he has a little bit more control with a runner on first and third.
The problem is you might want to be a little aggressive in your approach, but you can't take it to the point where you're trying to hit for the stars. First pitch misses low and away. Peterson able to corral that to stop Patterson from advancing to second. And that truly does speak to the level of defensive catcher play we've seen so far tonight.
Yeah, we've seen it from both sides, from the Saltcats and the Flames, but Peterson has done a really nice job. Obviously, he probably won't play the catcher position all season for us, but he's done a really nice job the first game.
Morris around the stretch. Going for second is Patterson, but that'll be defensive indifference as didn't want a chance the runner on third coming home to score. So runners now on second and third with one away. Two runners in scoring position. Morrisville's got to be at least a little concerned up here.
I definitely would think so, especially with some of these pitches that he's been throwing, because he hasn't been able to find the strike zone too much here, so got to find something here.
The 2-0 misses again. This one inside, and the count's now 3-0, and Morrisville is in danger of walking the bases loaded.
And I tell you, Brandon, head coach Mike Cordero did not want Cordero, I should say, did not want to see this situation happen, because now we're in a position where the Flames could give up some runs.
3-0 pitch is taken for ball 4. Walked on 4 pitches is Fajardo, and now the bases are loaded with only one away, and that'll bring up. It's supposed to be Sean Lawler, and it is Sean Lawler. We have a few players running around, but didn't have a lot of clarity on who is who. But we are going to see a pinch runner out at first base. It looks like we're going to have Dylan Nolan pinch running out there for Fajardo.
And Dylan Nolan is a player that I was excited to see, because I was expecting him to be in the starting lineup. He had a really nice campaign at Wells College this year. He had a .318, had 35 hits on 110 at-bats, and he had 25 RBIs, which led the team.
With one away and the bases loaded, Lawler comes up 1 for 1 on the day and also has a walk. As Peterson calls time and goes out to top of the pitcher.
Smart idea there by Peterson, and you got to try to get in his head and make sure that his head's in the right place right now. Because I'm not really sure, for the coaching staff that is, I don't know how many more pitches they want to use tonight because they have to play tomorrow. You know what I mean? So if you can keep Morrisville intact here, there's another guy warming up in the bullpen. I can't make his number out, but you definitely don't want to burn through 2 or 3 more pitchers tonight.
That's for sure. You don't want to run these guys out for the rest of the week, certainly without the reinforcements yet to come in. You're probably still missing Burnett, still missing Taylor, who we thought was on the mound, and you're still missing probably a big player here, Jeff DiStefano. Looks like number 26, Jimmy Flahive out of American International College is warming up in the pen. The first pitch to Lawler is foul behind home plate. Morrisville gets ahead with an early 0-1 count. Now an 0-1 count, 1 away with the bases loaded. How important is it for Morrisville to maintain his composure here?
It's very important. We talked about the mental game coming into play throughout this broadcast, and this is a situation where we're going to see how tested he is.
The 0-1 pitch is cut on and foul behind home plate yet again. And Lawler has gotten himself into a hole here. The count's now 0-2.
And I think if Morrisville can strike him out, he'll at least regain some confidence and be able to find the strike zone throughout the rest of this bottom of the inning.
Ferlenda off third, Patterson off second, and Nolan off first. The 0-2 pitch is grounded towards short. This could be 2. Flip to Hart for 1. Fires to first. Over the bag, but he was able to corral it. He had to jump for it, but couldn't keep his foot on the bag, so Lawler gets in safely at first, and now there's 2 outs, but the Saltcats played their first run of the game.
It looks like Ferlenda is going to be able to come around and score for the Saltcats. Has to be a relief. Finally being able to get something on the board. I know it's late, but they're in a position where they can at least add 1 more run, only with 1 out here.
Certainly the first run of the day for the Saltcats. An important one at that. That can start some momentum, and now Christian Nakari up to bat for the Saltcats. First pitch to Nakari is cut on and missed. Hefty hack there. And the count's now 0-1.
Have you liked what you've seen out of Morrisville thus far, Brandon?
I mean, Morrisville has had a tough situation here. He worked himself deep into a hole. He's doing a decent job trying to get out of it as the second pitch of the at-bat misses high and inside. He really has to try to maintain his composure here. It looks like he was able to do it somewhat that last at-bat. He's trying to pound the zone here, so it's clear that the situation hasn't gotten to his head too much.
Right.
Morris Rowe working from the stretch, the 1-1, as Nolan goes for second, and he's able to get in there. Excuse me, that was Lawler advancing to second base. And now runners on second and third with 2 away. Now you got 2 runners in scoring position.
Yeah, you got 2 runners in scoring position, and Morris Rowe doesn't want to lose anything here. He's in a 2-1 count, so he's got to throw some strikes, but we'll have to see.
Lawler takes his lead off second, and Patterson takes his short lead off of third. The 2-1 pitch misses high and away, and the count's now 3-1, and Morris Rowe in danger of loading the bases again.
Yeah, and again, we saw what happened the last time the bases were loaded with 2 outs. When the Flames had that situation, they scored 4 runs in the top of the 5th inning, and we'll have to see if the Saltcats can do the same.
The 3-1 pitch misses high and away, ball 4. That wasn't even close.
Definitely.
And now with 2 away, bases are loaded.
And definitely not what you wanted to see if you're a Flames fan, huh, Brandon?
Absolutely not, and it looks like Morris Rowe might be done here.
And I think that's a smart move at this point because you don't want to let this lead get any, thinner than it already is with potential base, or at least 2 guys that are in scoring position, Brandon. So you don't want to lose it thus far.
And as we're having the pitching change here, we'll give you a little break, and we'll bring Eric Moon in to give some short analysis here now. Morris Rowe had a little bit of a rough outing there. What did you see from him?
Well, it's similar to what I saw from Zavada. He just couldn't get he just couldn't get in a groove out there on the mound. If you watch 4 of the 6 guys he faced at the plate, he was able to get out of it with just 1 run allowed. It could be more, however, with 3 guys still on the bases that will be charged to him if they score. But, I'm looking forward to this guy, Jimmy Flaheim, coming in. He's the other sidewinder on this team, the left-handed sidewinder. However, it's a bit more of a challenge for him because
Doesn't he have
there's
a
only one
delivery? Is that
submarine is a thing, but he throws straight to the side, 90 degrees, just like Jake Griffin. However, it's a bigger challenge for Flaheim as a lefty because he's facing right-handed batters, and the one left-handed batter in the Saltcats order has already batted in the inning. That's Sean Lawler. He's out on second base right now.
That's true. And Flaheim making his first appearance for the Flames this season. How did he do this past year at American International?
Well, at American International, we don't have any stats on him. We try to find some stats on him, but we know he's from Long Meadow, Massachusetts. Big lefty. We don't even have his height and his weight on here, but he's looked good from what we've seen in practice yesterday and on the mound today. Again, that sidewind delivery is going to be a little tough for hitters, with the angle the ball's coming out, but we'll see what happens.
And with the bases loaded and 2 out, you got to think the goal here is just to get out of the inning without any more damage.
Yeah. That's all you got to do. 2 outs, you just got 1 more to get.
Eric, thank you so much for joining us. We'll bring Morgan back in here as Flaheim finishes his warm-up on the mound, and we'll give you a little more of an update from what's happening around the College World Series with Flames currently participating. Kent State losing even worse to Louisville now, down 12-5 in the bottom of the 6th inning, and now also. Canisius is now down 6-1 at the bottom of the 4th against Minnesota. Certainly not a lot of luck for the Flames so far today, but hey, like Morgan said, being a little selfish, the sooner they're out, the sooner they're up here in upstate New York playing for the Flames.
Absolutely, and Brandon, you know why that is really exciting for me is because how successful this team has been just tonight. Then you had all that talent coming in from Columbia, Canisius, and Kent State. This is going to be a very, very strong Flames team this season.
With the Ducks all on the pond, that brings up Christian Nakari. That brings up Isaac Porter. Nakari is currently on first base after the walk as the first pitch is a ball outside. Isaac Porter came in as a defensive replacement an inning or 2 ago. What do we know about him?
Well, Isaac Porter is obviously playing the catcher position. He's a junior. He just finished his sophomore year.
As the second pitch is called for a strike.
He attends St. Bonaventure University or St. Bonaventure College, I should say, and he didn't really play all heck of a lot this year or the year before. He did bat in high school where he attended Central Mountain High School. He batted .344 his senior year.
Flaheim's going to call a time here. Going to conference with the catcher. only thrown 2 pitches.
Yeah.
Quite early to call a conference.
Definitely is, but well, I mean, you don't want to lose anything here. Every pitch counts because it's just one of those situations where the Flames could be, their lead could evaporate just like that within 1 pitch. So don't want to lose anything here. Really tough situation to come into for Jimmy Faleev.
Jimmy Flahav obviously does have a very tough situation, and certainly a situation where with 1 swing in the back, this could be a tie game.
Exactly.
Flahav gets the side, looks over to first. The 1-1 is taken for a ball. That off-speed pitch just misses the zone, and the count's now 2-1.
Yeah, and again, it's a situation for Flahav where, he didn't have a lot of burn in college, but he did pitch 30 innings, so this is a situation he can try to get himself out of.
Looks over to first, the 2-1. Misses high and outside again, count now 3-1, and now Flahav at risk of walking in a run.
Yeah, he is, and this season at AIC, he had 40. He gave up 42 hits on the season, so this is a guy that has definitely given up some hits, but definitely doesn't want to give up any walks here because it's going to score a run.
Certainly a project. The 3-1 pitch misses ball 4. That looked close, and it looked like Peterson really wasn't happy with that call. He gave the umpire a couple words, but he's going out to talk to Flahav again, make sure he's still calm, as the Saltcats cut the lead down to 3.
Yeah, they sure do, and they're trying to get a rally here, and we're going to have to see if the Flames can hang on to this lead. It looks like what's been happening is that we definitely are starting to figure out who's more comfortable in what situations as a pitcher, and this is just a really tough situation for the pitcher that's out there right now.
Morrisville was certainly a tough situation before for Flahav, and now Flahav is coming in the left to pick up the mess. Bases loaded, 2 out. First pitch from Flahav misses outside.
Good snag there by Peterson, Brandon, because he could have let that one go by and score a couple runs.
Flahav gets the side. He deals the 1-0. That misses high, and the count's now 2-0. And you talked about the importance of not making easy mistakes early in the season because those mental mistakes can really come back to haunt you.
Yes, they can. With a young team, I expect the Flames to definitely make some errors, and this could be one of their situations, growing pains, that is.
And forgot. Two on count here. As part of my missing it earlier, we do have a substitution here. Michael DeFusco takes that pitch inside, and the count's now 3-1. Michael DeFusco, a utility player out of South Virginia.
And DeFusco is doing his part right now. With a 3-1 count, all he has to do is let another pitch blow by, and it could drive in another run.
The 3-1. And that called a strike. DeFusco already threw his bat and was walking to first base, but he was not happy with that call. You heard some screams coming from the Saltcats dugout.
Yeah.
And now the count's full at 3-2, and Flahav has another chance here to get out of it.
Yes, he does, and the Saltcats faithful definitely not happy with that last call. We'll have to see if Flahav can get out of it.
A new lease on life for Jimmy Flahav. The 3-2 is chopped on the ground foul, and there will be one more pitch in this saga of an inning.
And the funny thing about that, Brandon, is sometimes getting that bad call can spark you as a batter, you know what I mean? And maybe get you a little bit more focused than you were.
You can get more focused, but it can also get in your head and you can get frustrated.
That's true.
You might want to have the instinct like Fajardo had earlier to hit to Cooperstown.
That's true.
The 3-2 pitch. Everyone goes. Caught on and missed on a pitch way out of the zone. Flahav got lucky on 2 pitches. And after 6 innings of play, the Flames have a 5-2 lead. And I will now turn the play-by-play over to Eric Moon, and I will take over the commentary. Thank you so much for your work tonight as play-by-play and color. Morgan Chapman will have you on for mid-inning analysis. And Eric, I will turn it over to you.
Oh, well, thank you, Brandon Ross. As you said, big sixth inning for both sides. 4 runs for the Flames, 2 for the Saltcats. You know, both teams have been looking to break through. They finally got it. What are your thoughts on this huge inning, B. Ross?
A massive inning for both teams. The Flames had a 1-0 lead coming in, ballooned 4 more runs onto that, and then the Saltcats decided they weren't going down without a fight. They tacked on 2 more of their own. So the Flames still have a very comfortable lead here, but with 3 innings still left to play, there's still a hefty fight waiting ahead.
New pitcher for the Saltcats on the mound. It is Peter Joseph, a right-handed pitcher. B. Ross, what do you have on him?
Joseph, just finished his sophomore season out at Northwood Midland. Home is Midland, Michigan. Can I finish a sentence? Apparently not. Another big guy, 6'4", 190 pounds. Had a good bit of success. Didn't throw a lot of innings, only 11, but kept his ERA to 2.45. Had a whip barely over 1. Had 1 strike, 11 strikeouts per 9 innings, and 1 walk per those 9 innings as well.
He takes over for Justin Hurley, who finished out the 6th inning on the mound for Syracuse. A third of an inning, 1 hit, 1 walk. The hit was the 2-run single by Mike Stefan. The hitter before that, Ryan Hart. The last one that Zavada faced, the RBI single to make it 3-0 Flames. Of course, the score now 5-2 for Onondaga as Joseph continues his warm-ups on the mound. With the score now 5-2, the Flames, they went into the bottom of the 6th inning. They needed a shutdown inning after getting 4 on the scoreboard, a crooked number up there. What's the response now?
You still need to play it safe. Don't act like you're going to coast to victory, but you got to play it safe. You don't want to take too many unnecessary risks because you still might want to pad on to that lead because 3 runs can go away with the snap of a finger.
10 batters came to the plate in that 6th inning. The leadoff man is the left fielder Adam Gordon out of Cal State, Los Angeles. 6, 7, 8 in the Flames order. Gordon, Wynn, and Garcia up to the plate as Joseph and the catcher Nurse with a little discussion, just probably to get the signs, straightened away.
I don't know if you got that note, but Nurse has been replaced by Isaac Porras. Happened only a few innings ago. It kind of slipped over our heads.
It did.
But Adam Gordon hasn't had a lot of success today. He did have the walk, but he struck out and grounded into a double play.
Gordon takes a fastball, a strike over the outside corner. Gordon 0 for 2 on the night, reached on a walk in the 1st inning. Just grounded into a hard double play, struck out looking in his previous 2 at-bats. And he bloops one in the air towards short, easy catch for Gorman. And that's 1 away here in the top of the 7th.
You saw in that first pitch with Gordon, it just caught the corner. That is a pitch that most of the Flames would have swung at the beginning of the game, taking an aggressive approach. But now up 3 runs, you want to protect that lead, so you don't want to chance anything too much.
Next man up at the plate, Marshall Wynn, the center fielder out of the University of Albany, one of 2 Albany Great Danes on this Flames squad. And the first pitch is a strike on the inside corner, another fastball from Joseph.
No, I just talked about the change of aggressive to patient play, but I think that was just one that was close.
0-1 breaking ball. Another beauty on the inside corner. Quickly 0-2 on Wynn. Wynn is grounded into a couple fielders' choices tonight.
Certainly a lack of clutch here on behalf of Wynn. Runners on base, but he can't quite get them closer.
Did come around to score the first run for the Flames in the 6th inning. And the breaking ball is low and in the dirt on Wynn. So really a waste pitch from Joseph. Just trying to get him to chase 1-2 now, the count.
Well, when you're up 0-2 in the count, you can afford to throw a waste pitch. Try to get him to chase at something far out of the zone.
A lot of pitches to work with now for Joseph. Just 2 left. And a ground ball sent to short from Wynn. Another play for Gorman. Throw it on to first is in time. 2 away here in the 7th. And that brings up the designated hitter, Nick Garcia. We've been talking about how he's listed on the roster as a pitcher in this game. What have you seen from him tonight that, makes him such a good hitter?
Nick Garcia's had a good plate approach. He did ground out the first at-bat, but he still made contact with the ball. He ended up getting a single later in the 4th, and then he walked in the 6th inning on a very impressive at-bat and ended up coming around to score.
The breaking ball is low and away. Might have caught a piece of the dirt. It's ball 1 to Garcia. 1 for 2 overall on the night. He was stranded at third to end the 4th inning. scored a run in the 6th. He'll take a fastball up and in. Didn't react to it, but it was pretty close to the hands.
I think
Ball
that's
two.
another pitch representative of the change in approach from the rest of these Flames players.
Certainly more patience as the Flames try to respond from that 2-run Saltcats inning to regain, to extend the lead as the fastball is on the inside corner. 2-1, the count to the Flames' designated hitter.
You can see Joseph sort of like picking his fingers a little bit there. You could tell that kind of just slipped out of his hands.
Still got it over the plate though, did the job right there, and a 2-1 is fouled off the netting, and a couple Saltcats, probably a couple coaches came out of the dugout to try and snag it off the netting. Either way, it's strike 2.
You got to think that in this type of situation, aggressive approach is going to get taken by Garcia.
2-2. Swing and a foul towards the Saltcat dugout once again on the third base side. And the count remains at 2-2 as Garcia will continue to fight off some 2-strike pitches, I presume, perhaps, if he gets a few in the strike zone.
Now, going to my further point before that last pitch, probably was a little bit inside, but anything close is the approach you kind of want to take here with 2 outs.
With 2 strikes, got to swing at anything close. He does here and rolls it over towards second base. Verlinda with the snag, and the throw on to first is in time. For the final out of the 7th, we're on to the 7th inning stretch, and on with me now is Morgan Chapman. 1-2-3 inning by the Flames. That time they perhaps needed a response. What's the Saltcats approach coming into this bottom of the 7th?
Well, I mean, I think they have to do much of the same that they were, the situation they were in the last time they were at bat, Eric. They were able to have a lot of patience, didn't get a lot of hits, but they were able to score some crucial runs to keep them in this game. Now they're within striking distance, and that's the one thing I really admire about the game of baseball is that you don't have to get all 5 runs back in the bottom of 1 inning. You can kind of work your way into it, and there's still a couple more at-bats for the Saltcats to be able to do that.
All right, if you're the Flames, you're up 5-0 going into the bottom of the 6th. Suddenly now it's a safe situation for these next 3 innings if they keep the lead. A big if, because anything can happen tonight. What's their approach?
I think that they just have to be able to stick to their roots and trust each other out there. I know that trust is something that it takes a while to be able to have that with your teammates, but in this situation, I mean, Eric, we've seen them play really good defensive baseball throughout this ball game up until the last inning or so, and so I think they just have to trust each other that they're going to be able to make the right plays at the right time.
And Flahive back to the mound now for the Flames. Faced 1 batter in the bottom of the 6th inning, struck him out. Well, actually faced 2 batters, walked the run in, struck out another batter. What do you think? How do you think he's going to do this inning?
I think he'll be fine. I mean, you end on a confidence note. That'd be the strikeout. Obviously, walking someone it could rattle someone, but like you said earlier, I think his delivery is very unique and interesting, and I'm really excited to see him get some more work here in the next inning.
All right, Morgan Chapman, thank you for coming on between the top and bottom of the 7th inning during the 7th inning stretch. Not much festivities for that in the ballpark besides announcing the raffle ticket winner, which is a big deal. I mean, anything with money is a big deal, of course.
Money draws fans for the ballpark, and you can't forget that at the Onondaga Flames home games, we're going to have the Pick 4, where random fans are going to get selected to pick 4 out of 10 envelopes that are sealed off, and if all 4 are winners, they win $10,000.
Envelopes, you say? It's got to be envelope. Envelopes, man.
Yeah. Agree to disagree there, Eric.
Sure thing. 9-1-2 in the Saltcat order to begin at the bottom of the 7th inning. Pitch hitter on and a line drive is sent towards first. Nice snag there by Stefan, and a run into the bag for the out, 1 away.
If we're debating envelope, is it GIF or GIF?
Yeah, I'd be back and forth on that one. It's GIF. And I beg your pardon at first base now. Mike Stefan out of the game. Corbin Paxton has taken over at first base. And for the Saltcats, the batter was Michael Ray out of the Citadel.
Corbin Paxton, one of the very successful players on this roster, finished his sophomore year at Lake Erie College. .309 batting average, slugged .381 on the season, 30 for 97, drove in 12 runs, he even had a homer.
Back to the top of the order after the first pitch was a ball to Alexander Verlinda, the second baseman. A little soft stuff from Flayhive, and it's in there on the inside corner for strike one. 1-1 the count to Ferlinda. 0 for 1 tonight, but he's reached twice on a pair of walks, including scoring the first run of the game for Syracuse in the 6th inning. 1-1 is a chopper towards short. Charging as Ruggiero makes the pick. Throw to first in time to beat the speedy Ferlinda down the first base line. 2 away.
That was a chopper that he had to come in on, but he fielded it perfectly, threw it off the right foot, and got him just in the nick of time.
And now the batter is Chris Coates, his second at-bat of the night, taking over as a pinch hitter in the 6th inning for Adam Holland. Holland was 0 for 2 entering the 6th inning. Coates grounded out to first base his first time up. The first one from Flayhive is a breaking pitch over the just outside, towards the outside corner.
With 2 out and no one on base, he can be a little ballsy with how he throws his pitches.
He can certainly be aggressive as the 1-0 is over the plate. Not quite snagged by Peterson, who calls time and heads out to the mound to talk with Flayhive. What do you think this visit is about after Peterson couldn't handle the pitch right there from Flayhive? Do you think that's a sign issue?
I'm not really sure. Perhaps they're just going up some clarity. After all, they did just learn the signs yesterday at the team meeting. So it very well could be that issue, but it's certainly not affecting the team tonight.
1-1 the count to the center fielder, Coates. Coates, a Bonnie out of St. Bonaventure University. 1-1 is the count to him. And here it is from Flayhive. A little breaking pitch just high. And it's ball 2. The count is 2-1.
Coates not only a Bonnie, but a native of Syracuse, New York himself.
I was just about to get to that. You beat me to it, B-Ross. Speedy fellow right here to my right. 2-1 is a foul back to the netting, just to the right of us. And the count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Two pitch here, watching to possibly try to get him to chase.
He does have a pitch to work with. And a 2-2 from Flayhive is a breaking ball outside. Couldn't quite get him to chase on that one, but still okay as the count is now full at 3 balls and 2 strikes.
That pitch did end up a little outside, but I think he was trying to paint the corner there a little bit.
Here comes the payoff from Flayhive. And a swing and a line drive that will go foul down the right field line into that
We can't say this
territory, that huge foul territory.
We can't say this enough. There's enough foul territory here to probably fit a small school of children.
And Coates fouled it into that, as B. Ross pointed out, that school of children. They probably would have been able to catch that foul ball. 3-2. And a swing and a pop-up right side out to get it is the second baseman Hart, but Netzel charges in from right field to make the catch instead, and that's going to retire the side. Another 1-2-3 inning in the 7th. So 6 runs in that 6th inning. Nobody gets on base in the 7th as Morgan Chapman joins me once again. What's your reaction to that sudden switch on offense?
I mean, I don't really know. I think that it's just a very unique situation for them to be in, and I think that they've handled it really well. I thought that the last inning, Jimmy Flayhive pitched outstanding because he was able to get out of the inning 1-2-3 and not let the Syracuse Saltcats get any momentum, continue their momentum, I should say, from the last inning.
Peter Joseph, the right-handed pitcher, back to the mound for the Saltcats this inning. 9-1-2 in the Flames order. What do you look to see from the Flames in this half inning?
Well, I mean, Mike Netzel is going to be the first guy up, like you mentioned, the 9-hitter. He's hit by pitch the last time. He has a single, but I'm really excited to see. It looks like they're going to have a couple more pinch hitters coming into the game. Excuse me, but I'm really excited to see if they do keep Mike Ruggiero out there, and if he is, he's had a really successful night so far. Eric, he's 2 for 2 with a walk, so see if he can keep it going as well.
All right, and due up fourth, Corbin Paxton taking over for Mike Stefan. I was a little surprised that Paxton did not get the start tonight given his great numbers with Lake Erie. What do you think he's going to do in his first at-bat when it comes?
Man, when it comes, I'm excited to see because, like you mentioned, he was 30 for 97 on the season. He appeared in 29 games, scored 15 runs, 12 RBIs. He batted a 309. He had a 381 on-base percentage. So I'm expecting some big things from him this season as well.
Morgan, thank you for joining us as a pinch hitter comes to the plate for the Flames to begin the top of the 8th inning. It will be Colin Matthews, the lone Kent State player on this Flames roster. Did not get any action with the Golden Flashes. I was about to say Golden Eagles, but the Golden Flashes this season as the pitch was outside for ball 1.
And you'd probably much rather be here than where Kent State is right now, currently losing 13-5 to Louisville in the top of the 8th.
Deja vu. Columbia lost 13-5 to Florida this afternoon as Matthews rolls one over towards third. A nice little play, but the throw is not in time to first base, and Matthews hustles out his first hit of the season, and the leadoff man is on for the Flames.
That's a tough one to get a hold of. A chopper right down the third base line. It's almost as if it's a swinging bunt, but Colin Matthews, an outfielder, has the speed to beat that one out.
Good effort by Nakari, but not quite right there, and it's nothing he can do. Another pinch hitter, it'll be Jake Evans out of Binghamton University.
Another
Pinch hitting
local product here out of Liverpool, New York.
Pinch hitting for Mike Ruggiero. First one of him is a slow bouncer out to the mound. Playing is Joseph. The long throw to first is in time. A 1-3 putout that works just as good as a sacrifice bunt. Runner in scoring position at second base, one away.
Smart play there by the pitcher. He very well may have been tempted to try to look to second there, but if he even thought about it, he would have been too late throwing to first.
And the batter now for the Flames is Brian Hart, the second baseman, the first non-pinch hitter of the inning. 1 for 3 on the night. Previous at bat in the 6th inning drove in the third run of the game for the Flames. An RBI single, got to third base, but he was stranded in the 6th inning. Breaking pitch moves a little outside. It's ball 1. The count is 1-0 to begin the at bat to Hart.
Another chance with a runner in scoring position here for Hart.
Hart out of Bryant University. If you look at Brian Hart's name, as the pitch is inside, forced him to move out of the way.
That could be
the count 2-0.
That could be a very strategic pitch by Joseph. Might try to brush him off the plate a little bit, try to get him a little less aggressive to pound him in the zone.
This year at Bryant University, Hart's team went 32-23-1. They were first in their conference, the Northeast Conference. NEC played in the same league as Wagner. As the 2-0 is a little soft one. Over the plate, a breaking pitch for strike 1, the count 2-1. Bryant in the conference tournament, they played Wagner.
Yeah.
And Ruggiero, of course, Mike Ruggiero, Wagner college player. Wagner beat Bryant in the conference semifinals, but then Wagner lost to LIU Brooklyn, and LIU Brooklyn got the conference automatic bid to the NCAA tournament as the breaking pitch is low, ball 3, the count 3-1. So there are already multiple Flames from Columbia and Canisius already in the NCAA tournaments. If a game went one way or the other for Bryant or Wagner, Ruggiero or Hart might be playing tonight.
And they're already very
in the
short.
NCAA tournament. They're already playing tonight. As Hart tosses the bat away, thinking that the fastball missed high, but it didn't, according to the home plate umpire.
The umpire's having a tough track record tonight. That's the second batter of the evening who has prematurely walked over to first base, chucking his back towards the dugout.
I believe that's consecutive, not consecutive half innings, but it's the second time in 2 innings tonight. Full count to Hart. And here's the payoff. And the breaking pitch is off the plate this time, outside to Hart. It's ball 4. Runners at first and second and 1 away. Another big opportunity, B. Ross.
Certainly a big opportunity, and now Corbin Paxton, previously a defensive replacement, now a chance to get a big hit here.
We've been talking about Paxton tonight. This season with Lake Erie, 309 batting average, a 409 on base, appeared in 29 games with Lake Erie, hit a home run, drove in 12. Good hitter, of course, B. Ross.
Also a left-handed hitter here. one of the few the Flames have shown tonight.
Flav checks on the runner at second before dealing to the plate. It's a fastball over. About the upper inside corner. Strike one. As Joseph rather pitching on the mound. I'm confusing my pitchers for a second here.
You know, with a runner in scoring position and 1 out, you can afford to be a little risky here if you're the batter. He took that pitch, and frankly, I would have expected a more aggressive approach.
0-1 to Paxton. Breaking pitch up and in on him. He leans back just a little bit, but he didn't have to a whole lot. 1-1, the count.
And as this is all going on, it looks like there's someone warming up in the pen for the Flames.
5-2 Onondaga leads the Saltcats here in the top of the 8th inning, and Paxton swings and fouls one back. Count is now 1 ball and 2 strikes to the product of Lake Erie College.
One-two count here. You still have an out to work with in the inning, so you don't want to swing too far out the plate. But if it looked like it could be a strike, Paxton should probably go for it.
Joseph with a few pitches to work with to try and get Paxton to strike out. And a fastball is looped up the air. It drops in front of the shortstop. That is Gorman running to the third base bag for the second out of the inning. In between hop, nothing the runner on second, Matthews, can do on that one, B-Ross.
Certainly not. And now, as we were mentioning, there was someone warming up at the pulpit, and we now know it is Keon Taylor out of Chaffey College, the product of head coach Mike Cordero's school.
One of 2 players from Chaffey College on this Flames roster. Now Trace Peterson, another product of Lake Erie College. One of, you guessed it, 2. Corbin Paxton's on first base, Peterson at the plate, both good hitters. As the first one to Peterson is a breaking ball over the plate. That's strike 1. Peterson 1 for 2 tonight. Hasn't scored a run, but he was stranded at third base in the first inning after reaching on a single. He's walked twice, and he flied out to left end the 5th inning. Checking on the runner at second is Joseph. Hopping around is the runner. The breaking pitch is outside for ball 1. Hart trying to distract Joseph on the mound. We've talked about that all night, B. Ross.
That's for sure.
1-1 the count to Peterson. The catcher tonight, as the 1-1 is a swing and miss. Just a breaking ball that dipped below the zone before Peterson could finish his swing.
I think Joseph is thanking God after that one. It seemed like he was a little frustrated with how that pitch came out of his hand, but thankfully he was able to take a hack and miss.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Peterson. Checks on the run at second, nobody covering the bag. Runners go, and the pitch misses. The catcher, Porter, thought it was strike 3, and it turns into a double steal.
Certainly a mental mistake you can't afford there. You have to expect everything until it happens.
And now 2 runners in scoring position with 2 away. Even bigger opportunity now for Peterson to give the Flames their 5-run lead once again. 2-2. Swinging a chopper down the third base line. Barehanded by head coach Mike Cordero. How about that? The silky mitts from the manager.
Gotta love the silky mitts. And Trace Peterson, obviously now in a more crucial position, have 2 runners in scoring position. A great chance to blow this game possibly out of reach here.
And that pitch was... That's one where Peterson, he's just trying to fight it off because that's a breaking ball that's dipping below the zone. You don't want to try and drive that one into the outfield.
He wasn't going to get all of that. He just wanted to keep the at-bat alive.
2-2, a fastball fouled away. Might have been expecting the soft stuff again from Joseph, which was why it was fouled away to the right side. Maybe a little late on the swing, you think?
People say to never anticipate pitches, but sometimes it is a better idea just to anticipate the breaking pitch and then react to the fastball. I think that's what Peterson was looking to do there.
2-2 home. Swing and a miss at the fastball, and Joseph gets out of the jam. 2 more runners stranded in the top of the 8th inning. And the Flames still lead at 5-2 over the Syracuse Saltcats. Heading to the bottom of the 8th inning as Morgan Chapman joins me now. Another missed opportunity for the Flames. Just the 4-run inning, the difference in this one. What do you think they got to do in the 9th inning? Well, first off, what do you think they have to do in the 8th inning to preserve the 3-run lead?
Well, I mean, I think they have to keep playing defense the same that they have been all season long. But for the most part, I mean, like you mentioned, Eric, that's going to leave up to 9 runners left on base for the Flames this evening. So this game could be a much better lead, and I think that they definitely want to have a bigger lead coming in this situation because the Saltcats were able to find their rhythm, or at least get on base a couple of innings ago. Last inning, though, I mean, they looked really strong on defense, so I'm expecting much of the same.
Jimmy Flahive back to the mound for the Flames for the bottom of the 8th inning. He's pitched an inning and a third so far for the Flames. He's kept the Saltcats off the scoreboard, retired 4 consecutive batters. What do you like out of him tonight?
Well, I think he's kind of more like Jake Griffin in a way because he has that business approach to his game, and he's been really up there dealing and doing his job, and nothing too crazy has gotten away from him so far. So I'm really impressed with what I see. What are you seeing out there, Eric?
I think he's been great. He's consistent on the mound since he walked the first man he faced. He's like I said, 4 consecutive batters. He's got a strikeout, a 1-2-3 inning in the bottom of the 7th, but who knows what can happen in the 8th when 5 batters have faced Flahive.
That's true.
At this point. How do you think the Saltcats are adjusting to facing now a left-handed sidewinder?
Well, it looks like they're actually going to pinch hit for the first at bat. It looks like that's Christian Anderson coming in. So perhaps they're just trying to get a spark on the offensive side of things, Eric, getting some new blood out there because they have a lot of Division I prospects on this team, or Division I talent, I should say, and they've yet to get into the ball game, and there's players from Rutgers and other schools like that, so they have a lot of talent out there, so we'll have to see if they can draw some more blood here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Thank you, Morgan, for joining me, and now he gives the headset back to Brandon Ross, who is going on the dance floor behind us between innings right there. Tell us a little bit about that. Why?
Whenever they play that Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack, they just gotta get a groove on. That's just how life works.
All right. We'll go.
I don't think you're satisfied.
That makes sense. All right.
I think you're expecting a better answer.
I was expecting something a little more unique, but that's still a good answer right there. Guardians of the Galaxy. That's a great movement franchise. Marvel in general. 0-1 the count. 2. Anderson, the pinch hitter, in the breaking ball, stays outside. Ball 1, the count. 1-1. Anderson, another one of those players from the Saltcats from Nichols College, 1 of 4 on the team. Appeared in 39 games. All of them were starts for him this season.
Christian
1-1 line to left to short, and the catch is made by the now shortstop Brian Hart, with Evans moving over to second base.
Anderson, before getting retired there, one of the many players on the Saltcats team coming out of Nichols College.
Number 14.
Dylan Nolan, the designated hitter, now to the plate for the Saltcats. Came in a pinch run for Taylor Fajardo.
The Dylan Nolan.
First one to him is a breaking ball on the inside corner for strike 1.
Nolan, one of a few players on the Saltcats roster out of Wells College from downstate New York.
Downstate New York. There are a lot of colleges on these lists that I'm trying to figure out still. As Nolan swings and misses at breaking ball, strike 2, the count 0-2.
And now Morgan is a New York resident, but being a non-New York resident, have you ever heard the term downstate New York?
I've not heard the term downstate, but I've guessed there is a term like that, considering I know there's a term like upstate New York, as Nolan is down looking. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, sir. 2 away. Down on 3 pitches.
Number 25, Sean Lawler.
And now Lawler to the plate for the Saltcats. Bit more of a challenge for him as a left-handed batter facing a left-handed sidewinder, isn't it, B. Ross?
Probably one of the toughest matchups you can face if you're a lefty. That's obviously going to be a pitch that's tailing away from you no matter what pitch it is, and it's going to be hard to keep an eye on it.
First one from Flayhive is a fastball over the plate. One of the easier pitches he'll get from a left-handed sidewinder. 0-1 is the count.
You'd expect being down by 3 in the 8th inning, he'd take more of an aggressive approach. He certainly looked like he was taking the take first pitch at all costs attitude there.
Pop up, left side. Calling it is Groskopf. And the catch is made for the final out in the 8th inning. 1 inning to go tonight. If the Flames can hold on, 5-2. Onondaga leads the Saltcats heading into the 9th inning. As Morgan Chapman joins me once again. Flayhive, that's a quick inning.
Yeah, I mean, I think you mentioned it last time I was on, Eric, that you just really respect what he's doing out there because he's all business and he's able to deal 3 up, 3 down.
As for the Flames, you know, they haven't been, neither team has been able to score since that huge 6th inning. 6 of these 7 runs in this game came in that 6th inning. What can the Flames do here to try and make it, I guess, a more comfortable situation, you know, a non-save situation to get those runs up, get a run or 2 on the scoreboard?
Well, I'm excited to see what they're gonna have up here. It looks like they might pinch hit again, so that's another guy, and it looks like they're gonna switch pitching again. So it's gonna be a really good face. It looks like it's Peter Nolet out there on the mound for the Saltcats, and looks like pinch hitting is gonna be number 10 for the Flames. That's Casey Crutch, and he's a Lemoyne product. And again, I'm a Lemoyne guy. I go to Lemoyne College. Didn't play a ton this year his freshman season. Plays third base at Lemoyne. He looks like he's going to play third base this season. He's from Jamesville, New York, so he's a local product, and he was 1 for 7 at the plate this year. Scored 7 runs, though, so he has some wheels on him.
Nolet, meanwhile, on the mound for the Saltcats, the 6th pitcher of the night.
Yeah.
For Syracuse. How does that affect them going down the road? It's just opening night.
I know, but the thing is about that, Eric, is that their pitching staff has a lot of depth on it. We've seen that when we were taking notes earlier this week, and I mean they could definitely go through 6 guys. I'm sure that wasn't the game plan coming into this one, but it looks like that's what they're going to go with, is trying to stay alive in this game.
And so the new pitcher is now Nolet, one of 4 players out of Solve Regina University, a guy out of New Jersey. All right, and then, you know, for the Saltcats, you're just trying to hold them here. What do they have to do in the bottom of the 9th to get 3 runs on the scoreboard?
I think they just have to be aggressive, but it's a mixture of being aggressive and being patient, because if you're too aggressive, you're going to get 3 really quick outs and you're going to end this game. But if you're not, not aggressive enough, you're going to watch too many good pitches go by. So I think they have to find that fine line in between and then attack it.
Thank you for joining me once again, Morgan Chapman, right there, with 1 inning to go in this first night of New York Collegiate Baseball League action. We'll take a quick look at the out-of-town scoreboard and the NYCBL.
That's cool.
There are all 12 teams are playing tonight, 6 games. However, we only get updates for 2 of the other 5 tonight, despite the fact that, well, never mind about that. However, just 2 games on the scoreboard as the breaking pitch is inside to Casey Kresh, the pinch hitter for the Flames, likely to stay in and play third base. He is pinch hitting after all for the third baseman, Jared Groskopf. 1-0. Good cut and a foul back to the screen, 1-1. So both of those games that we have updates on are in the 9th inning. Top of the 9th between the Cheryl Silversmiths and the Rome Generals. Rome up 9-7, a high-scoring affair in that one. And the defending NYCBL champs in danger of dropping their opening game. The Hornell Dodgers at home, losing 6-4 in the bottom of the 9th to the Oleana Oilers as the breaking ball is blown away. Ball 2, the count is 2-1. What do you think about that B-Ross? That Hornell, defending champs, but losing on opening night potentially.
Every season is a changing situation, and any given day you can lose a baseball game. It's not like basketball or football where results are almost predetermined.
Kresh with a pop-up out towards shallow center, and coming out to make the diving catch is the second baseman for Linda. And that's the first out of the 9th inning.
I'm not going to lie, that was a great catch by Ferlendo, but that's just being a bad teammate. That was well out of his range, and he should have let Holland go get that ball. Rather, Chris Coates go catch that ball out in center field. And speaking back to the other teams playing. I love how all the scores that are coming in are from the teams we can't wait to drive to.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. First pitch to Adam Gordon, a breaking ball just missed. And one game we wanted to keep our eyes on tonight that we unfortunately can't. A 6 p.m. start, Syracuse Spartans, Cortland Crush. The next two opponents for the Flames. As Gordon bloops one into center field, that'll drop in for a base hit. And the Flames have a man on with one away here in the top of the ninth. Spartans will be the opponent tomorrow night. We'll be on the air at 5 o'clock as the Flames head out on the road to take on the Syracuse Spartans.
And a fun fact about that game, you're going to have 5 broadcasters between the two teams and 4 Syracuse students.
4 SU students, that is correct.
Looks like Morgan's the odd man out.
Sorry, buddy. First one to Marshall Wynn, the center fielder, is a breaking ball in for strike one. The count is 0-1 on the 7th pitch so far from the reliever Nolette. 0-1 is the count. 6'4", 180-pound right-handed pitcher on the mound as the breaking ball's in the dirt. Gets away from the catcher Porter. No chance to get the runner Gordon taking second with ease.
I was going to say between that last pitch, but there wasn't enough time. I wouldn't have been surprised to see Gordon go there. I don't think he was originally playing to steal, but I think after seeing the ball in the dirt, he made a quick advance and easily took second.
And it didn't get too far away from Porter either. Gordon just got a good jump and he kept going. 1-1. Breaking ball low and in on Wynn. Ball 2, the count is 2 balls and 1 strike now.
I think the thing about base running that people don't understand, you don't need to be fast. Back in the 80s, the Oakland Athletics hired a track star just to pinch run him, and he didn't do well because he didn't have the baseball instinct. Baseball instinct is so crucial when being a base runner. You can be relatively slow, and as long as you can get a good jump on it, you can steal plenty of bases.
That is the key, getting that good jump off of whichever base you're on. 2-1. Breaking ball, low and away. Ball 3 to Win. A very good hitter's count now. What's the mindset on the plate in this situation? 1 out, runner on second. You're up 3-1 count.
I think the situation here is to be patient. Don't swing at stuff that you know is going to be out of the zone. You don't want to chance it with a pitch too close, but you got to be able to let that pitch go.
That's a breaking ball, not one that Marshall Wynn likes as he takes it, but it's on the inside corner for strike 2. And the count's now full at 3-2.
And now at 3-2, you're willing to take a little more of an aggressive approach to make sure you don't give yourself 2 outs in this inning.
The payoff. Breaking ball hit in the air to center. Gordon halfway between first and second, and the catch is made in center by Coates. Gordon back to the second base bag, and there's 2 outs now in the ninth.
The designated hitter, number 6, Nick Garcia.
And now Nick Garcia up at the plate for the Flames. Runner on second, 2 away, 5-2. The Flames lead the Saltcats on the strength of a 4-run 6th inning. That has been the difference so far. Checking on the runner at second is Nolette, and the first pitch is a breaking ball over the outside corner. 0-1 the count.
With 2 outs in a situation like here when you had a runner in scoring position, something that you're going to want to see is aggression. It's definitely a situation where the Flames can afford to be aggressive at the plate.
Garcia 1 for 2 on the night. And the breaking ball's loaded in on him. Gordon keeps going to third, and the throw was a little off target, but the tag was there. However, the third baseman, I believe that is DeFusco, couldn't hold on to the ball on the tag. As a result, stole base for Gordon. Speedy man on the base paths tonight.
I love that aggression from Gordon in a situation like this. Now a blooper gets him home.
Breaking ball low and in. He's not going home this time, despite the fact that the ball did get away from Porter just a little bit. 2-1 the count to Garcia now. Now with the runner just 90 feet from home plate, what's the approach at the plate for Garcia be, Russ?
I don't think the approach changes from when he was on second. You try to get the ball in play and get that runner to score. Now it's just even easier for the runner to come and touch home plate.
Time is called now as the Saltcats pitching coach will make a visit to the mound. Mike Cordero, the Flames manager talking to the runner at third base, that is Adam Gordon. Of course, Garcia heading to the on-deck circle to talk with Colin Matthews. How important is it, just in a nutshell, B. Ross, to get this run home?
It's not really that important, but it's a good morale booster heading into the bottom of the ninth inning. It really crushes the hopes of the Saltcats and may have them more demoralized and give them less motivation to get those 4 runs needed to tie the game.
It would get rid of the save situation as all the members of the Mountain Conference disperse back to their posts. 2-1 is the count to Garcia once again. Back-to-back pitches in the dirt, probably the cause for that conversation on the mound. Probably telling him to throw strikes. No lead on the mound. Meanwhile, the fastball is well out of the way, forcing Porter out of the crouch. 3-1 is the count. Good hitters count here for Garcia.
Interesting thing here, if Garcia ends up getting walked, you have an unproven entity in Colin Matthews on deck.
3-1. Fastball is up. Ball 4. And the Flames get another runner on here in the top of the ninth inning. It is runners on the corners. And 2 away for Colin Matthews.
He did get a single his last time up at bat, but generally not a lot of experience. He didn't play his freshman season.
What better time than now, though, to get some experience with the Onondaga Flames?
Not to mention he'd rather be here than watching his Kent State Golden Flashes taking a loss.
First pitch is a breaking ball inside. Well, I mean, you would rather, be with a team that wins, of course, but I think he's been with his Golden Flashes throughout the whole... I'm not exactly sure what he's thinking for either. I don't think he's thinking about either. I think he's just focused with the Flames. If the fastball forces him to hop out of the batter's box. 2-0 the count.
You got to be careful here because if you brush him off again, you get Jake Evans up to bat, and he's known to be a deadly hitter.
2-0. Fastball is inside again. Nolet pounding him inside in this at-bat. But he hasn't hit the plate to this point. 3-0. And he swings at the 3-0 fastball. It's foul to the backstop, strike 1. What do you think about that 3-0 cut, B. Russ?
I'm really curious to know if Cordero gave him the green light because I don't think that's the right decision making there in that situation. You want to take the pitch and possibly load the bases here.
3-1. Oh, that is up on him. He had to duck out of the way.
That was dangerously close to his head, Eric.
Had to duck and cover right there. Bases are loaded. Nowhere to put them. With 2 away, and Jake Evans steps up to the plate.
You could tell after that Nolet is a little bit rattled, and now Jake Evans comes here with a big opportunity to take advantage.
It was for Lenda, the second baseman, coming out to the mound to try and give Nolet some words of encouragement. Try and get his team out of the jam. First one to Evans, a breaking ball. He was leaning back. Definitely fooled by that one. It's in for a strike, 0-1.
Nolet leads off with a solid breaking pitch, gets that first strike. It's crucial to getting the upper hand here in the at-bat.
0-1. Fastball, rather a breaking ball in the dirt outside. 1-1 the count. It looked like a fastball out of the hand to me, but how much do we know from up here, B. Ross?
Not too much. We can really tell inside, outside. We can't really tell depth very well.
1-1. Fastball up and in. Evans leans back. Ball 2. Count is 2-1. Huge opportunity here for the Flames. It is I believe the 4th time Onondaga has loaded the bases tonight. Well, it's one of numerous times. They've gotten plenty of runners on base as the breaking ball is just off the outside corner. Good hitters count now for Evans. 3 balls and 1 strike. 5 runs to show for it. A 5-2 lead on the Saltcats. Another run or 2 or 4 will definitely help the cause for victory. 3-1. Slow breaking ball over the inside corner at strike 2.
I would have expected a 2-strike approach there from Evans given the circumstances around him. You got 3 runners on base already with a 3-run lead and a chance to put the nail in the coffin here, but instead he lets that pitch ride right down the middle.
Perhaps a Hainer on that last pitch. It was a breaking ball up in the zone. Runners go, and Evans fouls one away to the right side. A fastball that might have been inside. It was right around the inside corner. Full count still to Evans, 3 balls and 2 strikes. 10 hits on the night for the Flames. The man Evans took over for. Mike Ruggiero has one of them. That was the first hit of the game. Now the payoff fastball is up for ball 4. Evans with some good patience at the plate walks in a run. And it's 6-2 on Onondaga.
A great at-bat there by Evans, working the count in his favor and then going back into a little of a tight situation and eventually taking the pitch that was way out of the zone.
And now the man at the plate is Brian Hart for the Flames, the shortstop, starting at second tonight. And the breaking ball is swung on a miss for strike 1. Good movement on that pitch from Nolet. Started right down the middle and then dipped low and away. 0-1 the count to Hart, who's 1 for 3 tonight. And the fastball catches the inside corner, 0-2 the count.
Typical 2-strike approach here going to happen for Brian Hart. You have a very well cushioned lead, and if you have a pitch you can swing at, go for it.
Pair of walks also for Hart. A walk will certainly do, as the Flames have found out a couple times, as he pops one up to the right side. Chasing after it is Patterson. He reaches out, but the catch is not able to be made. A little out of his reach. 0-2 remains the count. Good effort, though, by the right fielder, as Christian Anderson, for the Saltcats. Just coming in to replace Patterson right field after pinch hitting in the bottom of the 8th inning. 0-2 the count. Here it is. And a swing and a pop-up foul to the right side. This is not playable, and it ends up in the Flames bullpen.
All these foul balls are going to eventually get to Nolet's head. He's going to get a little frustrated, and then he might end up leaving one where Brian Hart can give it a ride.
We'll see what happens here. The Flames up 4. The score is 6-2. Bases are loaded with 2 away. Chance to add another run or 2. Another 0-2. Popped up on a breaking ball. Right side. Chasing after a couple Saltcats. And it ends up off the fence. And unplayable. 0-2 the count.
Again, in a simpler spot, Brian Hart keeping the at-bat alive, and Nolet getting a little more frustrated here, I'm positive.
That's 3 foul balls in a row to the right side from Hart after getting to an 0-2 count. Patient hitter at the plate, as we mentioned. Pair of walks tonight, also an RBI single. Made it 3-0 Flames at the time. Another 0-2, a breaking ball, got him looking on the inside corner. Good pitch from Nolet, and that retires the side. So the Flames strand the bases loaded, but they get 1. And it's now 6-2 on Onondaga, as Morgan Chapman joins me again. What's the importance of that run in the 9th?
I think it's really important because getting 3 runs is definitely doable and it's manageable, but like Brandon alluded to earlier, I mean, just having that 4-run deficit is really hard, and I think it's definitely bad for team morale. So I'm excited to see what the Flames defense has. Looks like they're actually going to finally bring in the guy who was running up in the bullpen for the last couple innings. That's Keon Taylor out of Jaffe College, and again, that's where coach coaches. So I'm excited to see what he has for us.
And before we get to Keon Taylor, Jimmy Fleha, 2 1/3 innings tonight, 2 strikeouts, did not allow hits, just 1 base runner. What did you like about his performance most tonight?
I mean, he didn't fill up the stat sheet per se, but I mean, he did his job. He was out there, he was able to collect outs, he stayed focused, he didn't give up anything, and did nothing crazy. Didn't give up anything bad, so I really respect what he did out there.
And what do you look to see out of Keon Taylor?
Well, Keon Taylor is a guy who had a 4.73 ERA. He pitched 40 innings this year. That would be his ending of his freshman campaign. He's 6'4", 175, a right-handed pitcher, and he had 44 strikeouts. So he's able to definitely find the strike zone, and that's exactly why he's the closer for this Flames team. And we'll have to see what he can do.
Taylor with another sidewinding windup. The third pitcher of the night for the Flames with that's a sidewinder. We thought there were only 2 on the team. What do you think about Taylor, a sidewinder on the mound, coming up against a Saltcats order with 8 right-handed batters of the night?
I mean, it's going to be very interesting to see. I think it's going to be a really good adjustment by coach. I think it's exactly why he's coming in right now. But for the Saltcats, Eric, I mean, this is their last moment in the game that they can, rally back, and hopefully they're able to get something going if you're them. But for the Flames, I mean, they've been playing some really good defense out there. They've made some substitutions out in the field, so we'll have to see how everyone can adjust and play together.
And the Saltcats need production out of the bottom of the order. They have 6, 7, 8 coming up in this 9th inning. With the new pitcher coming in, how hard is it then to adjust to a new pitcher on the mound? Well, also, they need 4 runs in just this half inning.
Yeah, I think it is definitely going to be a hard adjustment because you have to be aggressive here, but you don't want to waste anything either. So I'll be really interested to see how they can adjust to this last inning.
Morgan, thank you for joining me once again as Christian Nakari comes to the plate for the Flames. Same question I asked Morgan, B. Ross. How tough is it for the Saltcats to get 4 runs at the scoreboard while also adjusting to the new pitcher on the mound?
Adjusting to a new pitcher on the mound, and you have the bottom half of the order here. Certainly not the position the Saltcats want to be in, but hey, it's baseball. You can't run out the clock. Anything is possible. I have said it multiple times tonight, and every single time it still rings true.
Nakari, the batter out of Nichols College for Syracuse. The first one from Taylor, a fastball over the plate. That is strike 1. The count is 0-1. Nakari, 1 of 2 at the plate tonight. A single in the 2nd inning. A walk in the 6th. Strikeout in between as he chops one foul behind him for strike 2. And the count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes.
Keon Taylor taking an aggressive approach on the mound here, getting ahead of the count early, and now he has Nakari back on his heels.
Taylor out of Chaffey College from Fontana, California. 6'4", 175-pound right-handed pitcher on the mound as Nakari fouls one off the left foot of the home plate umpire back towards the backstop.
An interesting part about this Flames team is the incredible geographic diversity of these teams. You have a lot of West Coast talent, a lot of California players. You don't really see that with a lot of other teams in the NYCBL. You may have a few from Texas, some from the Southeast, but none from California.
About half of the Flames pitchers, as that one is fouled away off the name by Nakari. 7 of the Flames pitchers, that's a little over half. That is over the half. 7 of the 12 Flames pitchers, all from the state of California. 2 out of Cal Poly Pomona. 2 from Chapman College. 1 from NYU. 1 from Occidental College, and 1 from Chaffey College. That's Keon Taylor on the mound right now.
You also forgot Gunnar Groen at Pepperdine.
That is true. Breaking ball. Flames thought they got Nakari right there, but the check swing he did not go, according to the first base umpire.
Groen, not a native of California, but attends school in California. Also, Gabe Golub goes to NYU, but he is a native of California.
That is right. 1-2. Swinging a liner down the first base line, it goes foul with Paxton on the chase. 1-2 remains the count.
Nakari having a very defensive plate approach here. He knows he's in a tough spot, trying to get his team back in, and he's just trying to get the bat on the ball and make anything happen at this point.
Taylor gets a new baseball from the home plate umpire. Peterson lobbed it out to him. And Nakari steps back into the box. 6-2, Flames lead the Saltcats here on opening night of the NYCBL season. And the 1-2 from Taylor's a swing and a miss. A breaking ball that got away, that dipped below the bat of Nakari right at the right time. And it's a strikeout to begin the 9th inning.
A crucial strikeout there gives the Flames another upper hand in this inning, and now only 2 outs left for the Saltcats to get anything done.
So Taylor, he wins the battle against the first hitter he faces, and now Isaac Porter, the catcher, to the plate for the Saltcats. First one to him. The fastball's outside. It's ball one. The count is 1-0.
You gotta also appreciate Porter coming in this situation, not a save opportunity, but just going out there and helping his team win and get the last 3 outs.
Porter took the place of Matthew Ners in the Saltcat order as the pitch is on the inside corner for strike one. 1-1 the count to Porter. Porter out of St. Bonaventure University, another Bonnie on this Saltcat roster. As the 1-1 is a breaking ball on the inside corner for strike two. The count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Porter didn't do a whole lot with the Bonnies this season. Appeared in only 2 games, went 0 for 2 at the plate. Native of Beech Creek, Pennsylvania, as the breaking ball got him looking, froze Porter at the plate, and Taylor gets a strikeout looking for out number 2, and the Flames are 1 win away from their first win of the season.
1 out away from their first win of the season, and Taylor striking out the first 2 batters, having a great inning so far, and now if he can get the last down here, the Flames get out with a forceful victory to start the season.
And the last chance for the Saltcats is Michael DeFusco at the plate. And the first one to him is a fastball outside that gets away from the catcher Peterson to the backstop. No harm there, however, with nobody on base. 1-0 the count to DeFusco. Product of Sal Virginia University, one of 4 players on this Saltcat roster from that institution. 1-0. Fastball swung on and missed. Peterson points out to the mound to say, "Good job, Keon." Strike 1. 1-1 the count. Here it is from Taylor. And a swing and a ground ball down the right side into the Flame bullpen or dugout. We can't tell from here, from this angle. But now, the Saltcats are down to their final strike. The count is 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the Flames are 1 strike away from their first win back in the New York Collegiate Baseball League.
And this will be a great way to send a message to the league that the Onondaga Flames are here for business.
1-2. Swinging a hopper. Taylor with the snag on the mound. The throw on to first. Dug out the dirt by Paxton. That'll retire the side, and the Flames pick up a big opening night win on the strength of a 4-run 6th inning. The Flames win it 6-2 against their neighbors, rather their roommates, the Syracuse Saltcats, here at OCC Stadium. So the final score is 6-2. The Flames defeat the Saltcats tonight. The Flames are 1-0. The Saltcats 0-1 now on the season. The win belongs to Jake Griffin for the Flames, and the loss to Zavada for the Saltcats. Logan Zavada.
Thanks again for coming.
And that will do it from the OCC Stadium as the Flames win 6-2. Their first victory back in the NYCBL. For Brandon Ross and Morgan Chapman, I'm Eric Moon, saying good night, and so long until tomorrow night from Syracuse, a 5 o'clock start against the Spartans.